like to welcome everyone here today for taking part of your Saturday morning and afternoon to come listen to this fantastic group of tubas that are going to be playing. My name is Jim Hicks. I try to coordinate this every year. I have, except for a couple of years after Joe Williams died. And before I get started, I would like to give a huge thank you to the Rhode State Foundation, Dr. Joel Greenlee, Courtney Minton, and everyone else involved with that for allowing us to use these facilities. This is a really nice show place we have for Harriman, and I'm glad we're able to use it. We try to get guest conductors in every year, and this year I've been actually trying to get this young man to do this for a long time, but this is Dr. Chris Metcalf from Rockwood, and I've known him for a long time, really a long time. I knew him when he was in high school, or not college. He was the roommate of one of my former students, and we met at a football game back around 92 or 93, and we've been friends ever since. And so he's going to do a great job today. I appreciate that, and we really hope you enjoy the concert.
Thank you, Jim. Now, I'd like to echo his appreciation of several people. First, I want to thank all of you guys for being here. I know that this time of year is really crazy as far as all the commitments and things. So thank you for taking time out of your busy lives to come out here and not only support these players, but to support the arts here in East Tennessee, and specifically here in Rowan County. I'd also like to personally thank Rhode State Community College and Dr. Joel Greenlee, as well as Jim Hicks, and the other people involved in the operation of the Princess Theater, as well as our sound and light operators and technicians back there for their support and this opportunity that they've given me to participate in this event. Now, this is the 51st anniversary of the event, which first came into being in 1974. And listening to Jim earlier today, Harriman has been doing this for approximately at least 33 years that I know of. And that was Dr. Joe Williams who organized that, and I'm glad they were able to continue that here. Now, TubaChristmas was conceived in 1974 by Harriman Phillips as a tribute to his teacher and mentor, William J. Bell, who was born on Christmas Day in 1902. Through the legendary William J. Bell, we reflect on our heritage and honor all great artists and teachers whose legacy has given us high-performance standards, well-structured pedagogy, professional integrity, personal values, and a camaraderie envied by all other instrumentalists. Now, I talk about camaraderie up here. These people, as they went through their school programs, probably never got to play in a group that had this many low brass players all in one place and all on one stage. Low brass people are a unique bunch. Okay, we're usually probably one of the most, laid back people. We kind of go with the flow, but we also have a wicked sense of humor, and I think you'll probably hear that today as we play some of our tunes for you. Now, the first TubaChristmas was conducted by Paul Laval in New York City's Rockefeller Plaza Ice Rink on Sunday, December 22nd, 1974. Traditional Christmas music performed at the first TubaChristmas was arranged by American composer Alec Wilder, who ironically died on Christmas Eve in 1980. Wilder composed many solo and ensemble compositions for tuba and euphonium. He is a loyal supporter of every effort to improve the literature and the public image of our chosen instruments, which are the tuba, euphonium, and every variation thereof. Earlier, Jim brought out a relic from, I guess it's probably the 1920s. Is that what time period there was? A double bell euphonium, which looks like two people could play it, but basically it has more buttons than you can push, and you can play all kinds of different sounds on it. So our instruments have been developing a lot over the course of history. So Wilder was a loyal supporter of every effort to improve the literature and the public image of these instruments. Through Wilder, we express our respect and gratitude to all composers who continue to embrace our instruments and their compositions and contribute to the ever-growing solo and ensemble repertoire of the tuba and the euphonium. Now, created by Harvey Phillips, Merry TubaChristmas concerts this year will be presented in over 300 cities throughout the United States and in several foreign countries. First and foremost, we give respect, thanks, and recognition to Dr. Harvey G. Phillips, Phillips, who was inspired to create TubaChristmas as an annual event honoring his mentor teacher, friend and associate, the late great tuba player, William J. Bell. Now, we've got several pieces that we're going to be playing for you today, and we're going to do something a little bit different. Now, one, I'm going to allow them to play like they often do not get to play with other groups. So you're going to hear tubas taking things down the octave. Possibly you have some euphonium players take things up the octave, or like on that one note, I think some of us are taking up 2 octaves. So we're going to have a good time up here, and we hope that you're having a good time out there. There will be some audience participation. For example, on our first carol that we're going to do Adesta Fidelis, or in English, O Come, Are You Faithful? We're going to play through the carol one time, and then we're going to invite you guys to sing with us on the second time through. This is an English carol that was written in 1751, but is still with us today. So we hope you enjoy our version of O Come, Are You Faithful? Okay, so our next tune we're going to be playing for you is a Welsh/English song called Deck the Halls. And like I was telling them, sometimes in music history, there's some weird things happen. Somebody will write the music, and then like hundreds of years later, somebody will come along and be like, hey, I dig that tune, let's put some words to it. So this one, the music was actually written in the 1500s, and the words were not composed till 362 years later. So again, on this one, we're going to start with the tubas and the euphoniums playing this, and then we're going to invite you to sing along with us on the second time through. So this is Deck the Halls. also an English carol. This one was written in the 1650s, but it's still with us today. I think the first time I ever heard this tune was probably in a production of A Christmas Carol. So this is God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Again, we're going to play through it twice. And we ask you to enjoy it, and we invite you to join us and sing along with us on the second verse. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, sticking in the English tradition, we will also be playing another English carol. This one is the First Noel. Again, we're going to invite you guys to jump in and sing along with us. This one has been with us since 1823 and has been covered by many different people. I think I remember growing up and even hearing Elvis sing this one. So whatever persons you remember, and it brings back those good memories of early Christmases, let it flow. So again, we invite you to sing along with us on the second verse. This is the First Noel. Thank you so much. Now, our next English carol, before we start moving into some more American kind of stuff, is Good King Wenceslas. Again, we're going to invite you guys to sing along with us on the second verse. Now, this is another one that had many, many years before the words and the music were united. Now, the Good King Wenceslas was a king of Bohemia. How they knew about him in England, I don't know, but they found out about him. So, right off the reel, the music for this song was composed in the 1200s, but the words were not crafted until 1853. So, we hope you enjoy this one as well. This is our version of Good King Wenceslas, and please join us on the second time through. Thank you. Now, we're going to start moving into some American-composed Christmas carol classics. The next one is It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Now, this one was written in 1849. Again, it's one of those that we hear so many times throughout this course of the season. And, it's about the birth of Jesus, who, again, at that point, they were trying to find a place for him to be born. And, unfortunately, it was a manger, but it was the place where the kingdom arrived. So, again, we hope that you enjoyed this. It came upon a midnight clear. We'll invite you to join and sing along with us on the second time. Thank you. want to continue on with the story of Jesus' birth. This next tune is O Little Town of Bethlehem. Now, this was written in 1868, and it kind of has an interesting story about it. There's a pastor, he had written the words, and he went up to basically the music teacher there in the church. He's like, hey, I really need some music for this. And of course, the guy being around Christmas time is absolutely covered up, because as musicians, what do we do around Christmas? We don't have anything to do, right? No, okay? So the choir director was laying there, and he was blocked. He couldn't think of anything. So one night he's laying there, he's like thinking, what can I do for music for these words? I have no clue. And then he felt like he was divinely inspired, and the melody came along to him by church morning, the next morning. He had the words and music put together to O Little Town of Bethlehem. So on this one, we're going to play it first, like we've been doing, and we invite you to sing along with us on the second time. Thank you. Now, this being a truly American type of an event, you know, conceived over here and spread to other countries. One of the things that we traditionally do in the program is we use this time to recognize our civilian military personnel as well as other what we call hometown heroes. So if you are a police officer or a firefighter or in the military or a teacher, can you please stand up for me? Thank you. And for the rest of you who didn't stand up, thank you for being supporters of the audience, or supporters of the arts here in this town and in this community. So let's give everybody here a round of applause. And let's go ahead and give it up one more time for these players up here. They're great. Thank you. Now, another thing that we often do at this point is we remember those who are no longer with us, and we celebrate their memories. And of course, there's one person who's deeply connected to this group who is no longer with us, and we honor his memory today. Over here to this side of the stage, you see a tuba sitting next to an empty chair. And that is to honor the memory of one named Bruce Keck. Bruce Keck was an instrumentalist who played in the Oak Ridge Community Band and the Tennessee Valley Winds after completing a career in the Navy and serving in NOAA. Unfortunately, he passed this year, but his music will live on due to the donation of his instruments to the Babahachi Community Band. And at this point, I'd like to invite Bruce Knoblocher if he'd like to speak concerning Mr. Keck. Thank you.
I am Bruce Knobloch. I am the treasurer of the Babahachi Community Band here in Harriman. For those of you that may not be familiar with our community band, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. The name Babahachi is actually the Indian name for the Emery River that you see flowing around the city of Harriman. And as a result of that also, when the town was founded in 1890, community bands was actually part of that beginning as well. So our community band is connected to a history that goes back to the 1890s. What I did want to do today is recognize the very generous donation by Mrs. Keck. I know she was going to try to be here today. Mrs. Keck, are you in the audience? You have a hand raised. I don't see the hand raised. We were very fortunate that we were able to be the recipients of the donation of his instruments. And I say plural. He had a collection of 5 tubas, 3 euphoniums, 2 trombones. It almost sounds like a Christmas carol there. And there was one upright string bass, so that does make the one. But he also had 3 electric guitars, and the amplifiers that go with it. I mean, a collection of about 15 instruments. I went with a pickup truck expecting to take everything back in one trip. They lived in Clinton, and I had to make a second trip back simply because I could not fit it all in the back of the truck. I have on the stage here the instrument that was not in a case when I went to the house, so I'm assuming that was the last instrument he played. And in bringing it in today, we have one of our players in the back here that described it for me. It actually is stored in 2 cases, one for the bell and one for the rest of the instrument. And it's assembled here, but it came with the engraving on the box saying U.S. Army, Washington, D.C. That had to be his favorite instrument. And the bell itself is able to be changed out. The one that is there is designed as a symphonium or a symphony tuba. There is a bell that goes more straight out for if it's for marching. So it actually would make sense for an Army instrument to have that, transition piece in the bell, depending on the use that it is. But I did want to recognize her for the donation. And being a community band, we have the ability to have those instruments, multiple instruments, donated or to have them on loan to individuals. It's not tied to just a single school. If she had donated it, say, to Clinton High School, it would have to be within Clinton High School use. We currently already have 2 of those instruments on loan to players within the Babahachi Band. And that one there, because it is such a prize, I'm not sure what we're going to do on it, to maybe display it. But again, our purpose is, as a nonprofit organization, is to make sure that his music continues being shared with others. Thank you.
Now, I'm honoring the memories of those who are no longer with us and those who have recently passed. Can we have a moment of silence, please? Thank you. Now we honor our loved ones who are no longer here with this beautiful chorale that was written by Johann Sebastian Bach. In German, it is Komm, süßer Tod, but in English we know it is Come, Sweet Death. We'll immediately follow that up with Silent Night. Silent Night. Again, we're going to play this in twice. Very popular carol. This one was actually from Austria. Again, it's got a great story about a choir director trying to find something for his kids to sing. And he found this beautiful little melody that was first performed in a church service in 1818. So again, we invite you to join us in the singing the second time for This Is Silent Night. Thank you. Now our next tune is probably one that's a favorite by many different people for many different reasons. Now it was first known as the Ukrainian Bell Carol, which was written in 1914. Now we have taken that tune and we have mixed it up all kinds of different ways and known as Carol of the Bells here where we're at. Some of us will recognize this from everywhere, from kids singing to, I think it was a Family Guy with Ting Fuzzer Dun, Ting Fuzzer Dun. It's one of those cartoons that was on Fox television many years ago that put those words to it. It's been done by hard rock and heavy metal groups as well, so this is definitely one that reaches across multiple genres and types of music. So again, with euphoniums and tubas, one of the most prominent thing of this is the bell. So we want to show off a little bit. You're going to hear Carol of the Bells. much tuba in your life? It's great. As a rural band director, we're lucky if we have like 1 or 2 tubas. I would love to have that. Oh, I can move mountains. They probably wouldn't like me when I got done, but I would definitely get mountains. Good. And so our next tune we're going to be playing is also an English carol, but this one goes back quite a bit. This is from 1739. So this is Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Again, we're going to play it twice, and we invite you guys to sing along with us on the repeat. Thank you. Thank you. Our next tune is probably the most popular of all Christmas carols. In fact, it was written in America, most popular it was most popular one in America, written in 1850. It was originally written for Thanksgiving, and it's known as One Horse Open Sleigh. In fact, it's so recognizable that just from the rhythm, most people know what carol we're playing. So if I'm like, everybody's like, so you guys know what that is. So because it is so popular, we're not even going to do any kind of intro on it. So we're going to play through it, and you guys get to sing along with us the entire time through. So again, we hope you enjoy this. This is Jingle Bells. And again, we have a whole bunch of bells up here, so why not? so much. Now, as is customary with a wild and rambunctious bunch of tubas and euphoniums and baritones and whatever other iteration of these instruments there are up here, one of the things that we often will do is after that one, we will pose for any kind of audience picture that you'd like to take before we do our last selection. Now, of course, at this point, it's my obligation to, again, thank you all for attending. And we thank you for supporting not only the arts here, but as well as at Rome State and in your local school programs. This is when our tuba players and euphonium players are asked to offer the tuba and euphonium salute for pictures. So, let's see it. I didn't fall off the stage, so I did good. Good. So at the our last selection we're going to be playing for you. Of course, this time of year, we should be reminded that this should be joyful. I know that we have many things and many commitments, and sometimes it's stressful, but we all need to share a little joy with each other. So our last selection is this English carol from 1719, which is Joy to the World. Now we're going to play it 3 times, and we'll ask you to sing with us on the second and third time through. So this is our last one, and again, thank you so much. And thank you. Merry TubaChristmas to all, and we hope to see you guys again next year. Merry Christmas.